Clocks come in lots of different ways. Today we're going to learn about analog clocks and digital clocks. Each number on the clock represents 5 minutes, so we can count around in fives. 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So when the minute hand, the big hand, goes to each individual number, that is a multiple of 5. Converting from analog to digital. Do the clocks show the same time? Well, let's have a look. The small hour hand on the round clock, the analog clock, is pointing to the 12. Let's look at the digital clock. The first number is a 12, so I would say they look the same. Let's look at the big minute hand. It is pointing to the 15. That means it's 15 minutes past. Let's look at the digital clock. It says 12:15. What is different about these clocks? Well, the analog clock is round and it counts in fives with hands. The digital clock goes up 1 minute at a time. On the right hand side is where the minutes are. Digital clocks have an hour and minute display, separated by a colon, the 2 dots in the middle. The hours will always be before the colon, so on the left, and the minutes will always be after it, so on the right. This time is 12:15. Digital display. Do these two clocks show the same time? What do you think? What's the difference about these two times? That's right, one of them does not have a 0 and the other one does. The hour may show just one digit, so the one on the left says 0, 2, and the one on the right just says 2. And that's okay. But the minutes will always show 2 digits, 15, 15, or 15, 15. Converting to digital time. Put the same hour as on the clock. Let's look at the clock. The clock is pointing halfway between the 2 and the 3. Let's click here and put a 2. Count around in minutes. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So when the big minute hand points at the 6, we already know that means half past. But in digital time, that is 30 minutes. Let's make our digital clock say 2:30. Well done. Now let's try this one. The big minute hand is all the way around here pointing at this number here. Let's count in fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So the time on the minutes on the digital clock are going to say 45. Now let's see where the small hour hand is pointing. It is pointing between the 4 and the 5. So that means it is 4:45. What about this one? Now they're getting very tricky. But you're so smart, I know you'll be keeping up. First, let's look at the hours. The small hour hand is pointing between the 9 and the 10. So that means that it is 9. Now let's count in fives. 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So the big minute hand is pointing at the 5 or 25 minutes. So the time on the digital clock is 9:25. Wow, this is a hard one. We're going to have to count in so many fives, but I know we can do it. Let's look at the hour clock first, or the hour hand first. It is between the 10 and the 11. So that means that it is 10 something. Now let's count in fives. 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. 50. The big minute hand is pointing to the 10 or 50 minutes. So the time is 10:50. Now let's go the other way. Let's convert from digital time to analog time. So first we need to look at the first number on the digital clock, which is the 8. Let's click on the number 8. Now we need to count round in fives. 0, 5, 10, 15. Now, if you look, our clock says 8:15. So if I click on the 3 or the 15, then the time shows 8:15 on the analog clock, the same as on the digital clock. Now we need to look to find 12:40. So let's click on the 12, and that there will give us the number between, because remember, when it's past half past, the small hand starts moving around the clock also. So 12:40. Let's count in fives until we get to 40. 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Stop! Let's click on the 8. Now both our clocks show the same time, 12:40. 10:05. So the first number we have to click on is, that's right, the 10. And now we have to count around 5 minutes. So what number do you think that that's going to go to? The 1. Let's see if you're right. 0, 5. You're correct. 10:05 is on the 1. 2:55. First we click the hour hand, and then we count around in fives. 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. Stop! 2:55. Wow, you're getting so good. Let's try this one. 7:45. So first we need to do the hour hand, and then we need to count in fives. 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Stop! So now our analog clock says 7:45, just like our digital clock. Well done, KG2.